So why am I guest hosting here?
Joe had to skip town.
What, did he kill someone?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Well, where'd he go?
He went to Mexico. He said something about a sandy beach with umbrella drinks and dirty naked freaks in a non-extradition country.
George, Mexico's not a non-extradition country.
Be right back. Gotta text Joe.
Welcome to Does This Still Work? The podcast that looks at old movies and asks, does this still work? I'm Kitt Nowokunski, sitting in for Joe while he gets some well-deserved R&R in Mexico.
And I'm George Romaka, and today we're discussing Con Air from 1997 and some historical context. First, podcasty stuff. We're excited to announce that we've joined the Creator Accountability Network. CAN is a nonprofit dedicated to reducing harassment and abuse through ethical education and a system of restorative accountability. We joined because we care about the safety and well-being of our community members. If you feel our behavior or content has harmed someone, please report it to CAN, either via the reporting form on their website, creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org, or via their hotline at 617-249-4255. They'll help us make it right and avoid repeating that mistake in the future. CAN also needs volunteers from our communities to help with their work, so if you have skills you think would be helpful, or time and a desire to help, please visit their website to find out how you can volunteer. Most importantly, get the word out to other creators who you think would be interested in getting credentialed. Help us build safer communities together. You can reach us at dtswpod@gmail.com, on Facebook, Letterboxd, and our YouTube channel. Joe is on Blue Sky at joedixon.bsky.social, but he's not here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Kitt wants anybody reaching out.
Well, oh, to me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't care for people.
Please tell your friends about us, even the ones with stupid fucking vanity license plates. And leave 5-star ratings everywhere. You can pick what we watch and get extra per episode content by funding us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/dtswpod. If Kitt was just a guest, we'd have a whole thing about... And also, we have a guest, except Kitt isn't just a guest. Kitt's a guest host.
Yes.
Which is a different monster. But Kitt still picked this film.
I did pick this film. I did pick this film, George. It is a movie that I love. And basically, anytime I pass by it on La Télévision, I would stop and be like, well, we're watching Con Air. I would see it in the TV guide that would come with the Sunday paper. Con Air is on. I'm make some popcorn. So yeah, it's one of those desert island movies.
You're stuck on a desert island, you have 5 movies to bring.
I figured I didn't need to explain it. Yep, gotcha.
The audience might need it.
A comfort movie, if you will.
Yes. All right.
So, George, take us back to 1997.
Alrighty.
Are we in 1997, or are you just going to explain the... Okay, you are. Good.
And that's the way it was.
Con Air is the nickname of the Justice, Prisoner, and Alien Transportation System, or JPATS. It's run by the U.S. Marshals Service, who wanted absolutely nothing to do with this movie. And I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much news about JPATS in 1997, so I went looking for prison breaks, since that's what the plot of this movie is at its core, a prison break, but with a mobile flying prison. There was at least one notable prison break in 1997. Kitt, give us this headline from the Pittsburgh City Paper.
Breaking out. One thing a former Western Penn escapee wants to leave behind now is the story of his jailbreak.
On January 8th, 1997, 6 inmates from the 115-year-old, now closed, State Correctional Institution Pittsburgh, or Western Penn, were found to be missing during a prison head count. It was hours before the prison told anybody about it, for which the prison came under a lot of fire.
Really? Why would that happen?
Yeah. The 6 inmates had dug a 15-foot deep, 40-foot long tunnel beneath a prison engineer's office where one of them worked to a prison outbuilding with no cameras and only a simple latch on the barbed wire fence. There was a very similar escape attempt from that very prison in the 1800s, basically using that same route.
Okay.
Yeah. They had access to all kinds of contraband, like fake hospital passes. They were allowed to wear civilian clothing. They had access to all kinds of shop tools. And most of all, the guards were, as one of these escapees would later tell the newspaper, complacent. That'll come up again. They managed to stay on the lam for 12 days, working towards getting enough fake documentation together to split up. 2 of them were convicted murderers. Most of them had drug addiction problems, some of which they didn't have before they entered the prison system. One of them went overboard with the meth, which led to his capture, which clued the cops into where in Texas they were holed up. This group seems to have been atypical as they were taking real steps to creating a life outside of the prison. Apparently, most prison escapees don't think that far ahead.
I will say about that, they probably weren't getting crazy sentences for the murder, since it seems like that was a low security prison.
It wasn't.
I'm thinking it was like manslaughter murder.
It wasn't a low security prison. It wasn't max.
Well, they don't give like people with life sentences be like, yeah, put on your like cargo shorts and your Halo tee, and we're going to the workshop. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Kitt, give us our second headline from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
For escapees, the hardest part is trying to stay out. Security experts say most fleeing prisoners are back inside prison within 12 months.
According to this 1997 article, there are about 2,000 prison breaks each year in the U.S. alone, not counting simple walkaways from work details and low security facilities. That's 5.5 breaks for every day of the year. Right? As the headline said, most are back in prison within 12 months. It takes a lot of planning and foresight to stay on the lam, and criminals aren't generally known for that. One guy managed to stay out for 20 years, even serving 14 months in jail under his fake identity for a weapons charge.
Good for him.
Yeah. One recurring feature of prison breaks is that the guards are creatures of habit who do the same things day in and day out, giving prisoners who have nothing but time to observe them all the time they need to find exploitable flaws in those routines. But, as far as we know, no escaped prisoner has ever made it to a sandy beach with umbrella drinks in a non-extradition country with dirty naked freaks. So on that note, let's talk about Con Air.
Yay! Well, the staff is Simon West as the director. I've seen them in The Expendables 2, The Mechanic, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. It is written by... So you've never seen anything they directed, George?
Nope.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, it's written by Scott Rothenberg, who, we've seen them in High Fidelity. I've seen their writing in Disturbing Behavior and Venom, and
I've seen his writing in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Good for you. Now for the blurbs. On IMDb, former U.S. Army Ranger Cameron Poe has just been paroled for manslaughter, but must stop a group of violent and deadly criminals from escaping the country after they seize control of the prison transport plane he is on. Now on YouTube, America's most hardened and dangerous criminals are transported via Con Air. Customized armored aircraft equipped with armed guards, hand and leg shackles, and top secret destinations that even the prisoners aren't privy to. No one has ever escaped from one of these flying fortresses until now. In this action-packed thriller, a group of violent and deadly cons seize control of one of the planes, taking the guards hostage and setting a course out of the country. Poe, an inmate who has done his time and is being shipped home to be reunited with his family, proves to be a fly in the ointment who battles for control of the aircraft, averting disaster and, in a thrilling climax, brings the plane down safely in Las Vegas and brings the cons to justice. That seemed
excessive.
also not accurate.
Yeah.
Flying fortress. It's a fucking
So in reality,
jacked up cargo plane.
In reality, the Marshalls are basically using 737s that they've modified very little.
Yeah, and this one, it's like, I don't know, like a military
weird.
Tank plane.
Yeah.
Like it's a cargo plane. I thought that they just like effed with.
Yeah,
rigged out.
The kind of plane that's used in the movie, the Marshal Service has never ever used.
No, of course not. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a flagship program. For super cons. And also, were they going to secret places? I don't think so. I think they were just going on a prison route.
Yeah, I mean, 3 of them were going to be released.
Yeah, so that was like, would mean it's predictable.
Right, which is actually, part of what the U.S. Marshal Service does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they might actually fly a prisoner who's being released home because they're sending a plane that way anyway. Like,
but I would say that, like, if they were going to be like, you can't know where these convicts are going, like, you're gonna know where the guy being dropped off that's not in danger anymore is going. So that kind of would be silly.
Yes, this whole movie.
But it's awesome.
So we're gonna get into the cast list here.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Poe is played by Nicolas Cage. DTSW has watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Not you to New Orleans, but you to Bad Lieutenant. And we've all seen Face Off. Mm-hmm. And you and I have both seen The Rock.
Yep.
I watched him in Moonstruck, Vampire's Kiss, Time to Kill, Honeymoon in Vegas, Leaving Las Vegas, Matchstick Men, The Wicker Men, Grindhouse. Next, G-Force, Kick-Ass, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Season of the Witch, Left Behind, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
And I've seen him in Gone in 60 Seconds, The Family Man, and National Treasure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've seen him in more stuff that I probably just don't remember. Trisha Poe, his wife, is played by Monica Potter. I've seen her in Bulletproof, Patch Adams, and Saw. Haven't you watched Patch Adams?
Nope.
That is fucking crazy. Casey Poe, the little slack-jawed child, is played by Landry Albright.
Seen her in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yep.
It's the one with Jim Carrey.
Ew. Agent Vince Larkin is played by John Cusack. We've all seen Better Off Dead, Stand By Me, High Fidelity, and Hot Tub Time Machine. I mean, y'all have seen that for the podcast. And I've also seen 16 Candles, Grosse Point Blank, Pushington, Being John Malkovich, Must Love Dogs, and Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
And I've heard him in Anastasia and saw him in Serendipity.
Agent Duncan Malloy is played by Colm Meaney. And we've obviously both seen him in Star Trek The Next Generation and DS9. I've seen him in Last of the Mohicans, Into the West, the Englishman who went up a hill but came down a mountain, which was so boring. Get him to the Greek.
Like that.
Yeah, the hill was not. They thought this mountain in their town was a hill. So the premise is that they had to like put dirt on it until it was tall enough to be a fucking mountain.
Okay, that sounds boring as fuck.
Yeah. I've also seen Colm Meaney in Get Him to the Greek, which don't really recommend. And we both seen him in Dick Tracy.
I've seen him in Die Hard 2 and Under Siege.
I've seen Die Hard 2 too. I forgot about that. All right. Now, Cyrus the Virus Grissom is played by John Malkovich. We've obviously both watched The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
He was Humakavula!
Yes, he was Humakavula. I've seen him in Dangerous Liaisons, Mulholland Falls, Rounders, Shadow of the Vampire, Knock Around Guys, Johnny English, Burn After Reading, Red, Warm Bodies, and Bird Box. I may have seen Red too. I may not have. Didn't want to put it down.
And I've seen him in Of Mice and Men and The Man in the Iron Mask. Also, after this movie...
Oh, I've also seen him in Being John Malkovich.
Well, yeah. weird that didn't end up on the list.
Right.
But after this movie, like, he used to get typecast as sort of just a brilliant genius. After this movie, he started getting typecast as a brilliant criminal mastermind, and he fucking hated it. So he started working in Europe, where they didn't know him for that.
Yeah, well, he
was really good at the role.
Kind of creepy. Sorry, Mr. Malkovich. Next, we have Nathan Diamond Dog Jones, which is played by Ving Rhames. We've seen him for the podcast in Pulp Fiction. We've both seen him in Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within, and Mission Impossible, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and Lilo and Stitch. I've seen him in The People Under the Stairs, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Operation Endgame, do recommend, Idlewild, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, The Wild Robot, and Dawn of the Dead. Now, Johnny 23, the rapist, is played by Danny Trejo.
Yeah, this guy's got 301 movie credits.
Yes, indeed.
22 of which are in some production stage as of September 2025.
Yeah, he keeps working. And for the DTSW pod, you watched Once a Time in Mexico, and I've seen that as well. We both have watched From Dusk Till Dawn. Yep. I've watched him in Bulletproof, Anaconda, The Replacement Killers, Reindeer Games, Bubble Boy, Triple X, Night Stalker, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, High Hopes, Grindhouse, Planet Terror, Machete, Halloween, Iborgs, Predators, Badass, Machete Kills. And I'm pretty sure there's another Machete he's in, but let's just blanket Machete.
And I am just at 301 movies, and I have nothing to really add to this list. That's sad. I got it in my head that I need to just do a watch everything Danny Trejo has ever been in thing.
I mean, don't, because a lot of it's real bad. But, he's all right. He's not a fucking killer anymore. And he does good for the community, and he's aging like fucking beef jerky. He was such a beautiful man once. All right, so Garland Green, the Marietta Mangler, is played by Steve Buscemi. For DTSW, you've watched him in Coffee and Cigarettes. Now, I have watched, and so has the podcast, Fargo, Pulp Fiction, The Big Lebowski, and Big Daddy. We both watched Wednesday, the TV show, Billy Madison, The Wedding Singer, Armageddon, Monsters, Inc., Mr. Deeds, Big Fish, and Hotel Transylvania. And we both heard him in Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. Now, on my own, I've seen him in Reservoir Dogs, Airheads, Escape from L.A., I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, G-Force, and Grown Ups.
I've seen him in Rising Sun and Desperado.
Now, I will say about this character, a lot of people refer to him as the pedophile. Because there is reference to him, wearing someone as a hat, as well as a scene in which, he hangs around a little kid. But he's just a sociopathic killer. That's it. He is straight. Children. He's not a rapist. No, nothing. He just murders. He doesn't murder children even. He just murders people.
Yeah, and some of them happen to be children. Yeah,
exactly. Families, people. Yeah. In fact, I don't even think they referred to any of his victims as children. They just said girl, and there was no I'm a girl, technically. Anyway, finally, Baby Odell is played by McKelty Williamson. For the podcast, as well as for myself, I've watched them in Waiting to Exhale. We both watched Free Willy and Forrest Gump. And I have seen him in Black Dynamite.
All right. So now we describe what the movie was.
Oh my gosh. Yep. It starts out with him being released from what military branch?
Army Rangers.
He's an Army Ranger, and he has been released, which apparently makes him a deadly weapon.
We'll get there. So he flies home to wherever the fuck home is. not even sure where home is.
I don't know, Vegas, Louisiana, somewhere country where he can have an Elvis-y accent. Probably, who knows?
And he shows up at the bar that his pregnant wife works at.
Yeah, she's barely fucking pregnant, though.
She's barely pregnant and sort of passively happy to see him.
No, she's real happy, but she knows there's these creepy dudes at the end of the bar who are like, I would like to sexually assault that woman so bad. Look at that man in military uniform coming up to her. I feel like that person who's trained to kill a man, I should start some shit with him.
Yeah, something like that.
That is basically what happens.
So
hey, girl, leave him behind and fuck me.
Yeah, that's and
he's like,
starts to get mad, and then
no, he doesn't even. He's just like he just like, this is my wife. Like, he's not even angry. He's just slightly like, I would like to spend time with my wife. Like, slightly confused, and she's like, don't start.
Yeah.
Don't start.
Says,
you're gonna murder everyone.
He used to be this violent guy, and or something, but
and he's like, I know, baby.
She treats him doing that, and she says, like, for a second, you were him again.
And he's like,
at
you can see that.
Point was he anything like that?
He's like, yeah, baby, I was gonna murder everybody. It's just so fucking deadpan. Like, it's like someone has never seen what anger is, and he's just like, you know, my dad got real stone-faced before he used to beat the shit out of me. Oh.
So they go to the car, and it's fucking pouring rain out there. And that dude and his two buddies, like, follow them out there to, I guess, kick his ass and then rape his wife. That seems to be what the plan was there.
Yeah, which is weird, and he was all like, you veterans, or you're why we lost at Vietnam. Yeah. And it's like the 90s, and hadn't we been through Desert Storm or some shit?
Recently.
Yeah, recently, and everybody was like, yeah, let's go in the desert and save the oil.
So, like, he squares off with these three clowns instead of just getting in, because he could have
plenty of time
in the car
to get in the car, flick them off while driving away, and calling the cops for some drunken disorderly. But instead, he's like, baby, I guess go stumble in the rain. I'm gonna step away from this car into the center of three dudes and let them beat the fuck out of me for a while. I'm gonna let them hit me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Until I'm in the ground, in the dirt, in the mud.
And one of them pulls a knife.
Uh-huh.
And so they're going after him, whatever. She runs into the thing, back into the bar to get help.
Which makes me wonder if they hadn't pulled out a weapon, if he was just gonna get his ass kicked. He was just like, I can't fight him because I'm a deadly weapon.
But he ends up doing the push the nose up through the brain and kill a guy thing that doesn't, I don't know how, I mean that.
Yes, it does. You can kill someone by lodging their.
But he does that, and the other two like see that happen and are like, oh fuck. They pick their knife up off the ground and then
No, he picks the knife up.
No, they pick the knife up. That's why there wasn't a weapon there for him to say, they had a fucking knife.
No, he was holding a knife.
No, he was not. Because that's why he ends up with a manslaughter charge. So we'll get there in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, like, the wife returns with the bar owner, and the bar owner is super fucking EMT in the rain, can instantly, within 2 seconds, realize that there's not a pulse and that the guy's dead.
I mean, it's 1995. Basically, he was dead. We didn't know anything like CPR.
The movie didn't have to be any longer.
No, it didn't.
All right, he just killed this guy. So then we cut to the court and we just skip past a bunch of shit. And the judge is like, you're an Army Ranger. Your body is a deadly weapon. You need to never be able to defend yourself, I guess. Because I guess he never said the words, it was self-defense. They were attacking me.
So here's the thing. He never had the chance to have a trial. because he had a shitty lawyer who was like, if you go to trial, you know, being an upstanding veteran with plenty of people to vouch for your like respectability, because like word of mouth does count, because it would be manslaughter.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's what he went to prison for. He went to prison for manslaughter.
He could have been, depending on how much time he put in jail, he could have been out on probation, out with time served. He's a military veteran with no as far as we know, no history of violence.
But according to this universe,
yeah,
the veterans are lower than dirt.
So really, what baffles me is what a garbage lawyer he has. Because his garbage lawyer is like, you could do 10 years for murder, which is pretty fucking good. But if you just like do an Alfred plea, which they don't call it an Alfred plea. Actually, they don't even do that. It's just confess like guilt. He should have done an Alfred. Anyway. Alfred plea is where you just like, you accept the sentence, even though like, you're like, I don't think like, honestly, it wasn't me, but it was me. Sure. There's no one else to blame, which I guess he couldn't go with that because he did kill that guy. So that wouldn't work. But now you know something about, what to plead if you're accused of murder and there's no evidence, supporting you not being a murderer, but you're not guilty. You do an Alfred plea. So that way, if evidence does come up, it doesn't work against you.
Okay.
But he basically takes a plea deal, so he doesn't have to go to trial. And they're like, eventually you'll be out. And how much time does he get?
I think it's 15 years.
Wow, way more time.
He's out in like 9.
So like, really, what he should have done was make a deal. Because if you just plead guilty, to avoid a trial, usually they work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
So he goes to prison, and his wife does not divorce him.
No.
So
he refuses to see his child for 10 years because he doesn't want her to see them in prison. You know, they do have conjugal visits, which is not just for fucking. They have like, what is it, trailers or shit like that, where you can have like a family visit.
It depends on the prison. I don't know that he went to a prison that does that.
I mean, it's back in the time when you could smoke in prison, so I'm pretty sure they have trailers around there.
Maybe.
Yeah, they let you do a lot of weird shit.
But he goes to prison, or 7. He's out in 7.
Yeah.
He got 10 and he was out in 7.
And like, he, like, basically everything is on fire in the prison at one point. And he just, like, rolls over and he's like, I don't hear nothing. It was, I guess that was showing him behaving by not doing anything. But it doesn't show him actively doing good, is what I love.
Right.
Like, he's not, like, learning how to groom dogs or doing, like, work on the side, like, any kind of community service, rehabilitating, like, pit bulls. I like the animal stuff in prison. Yeah. Taking in abandoned kitties.
So it's time for him to get paroled.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up being put on a plane with with the psychopaths that we mentioned.
And not even, like, it's basically just, like, some hardened criminals, and then, like, they have a few super cages for the real assholes.
Yeah.
And then some of the real assholes are just, like, chilling outside the cage. I don't know. It's madness. It's stupidity.
It's all movie. Like, everything is
it's drama.
Yeah. And so the plane has to make a stop in order to offload some people and offload the parolees. And
Were you talking about the first stop or
the first stop? But between this and the first stop, shit happens, and we're about to talk about it.
Okay, good.
So before they can get to the first stop, fucking Cyrus, the virus, and Diamond guy.
Well, so we actually do have to, like, roll it back.
Okay.
Because Poe is there with his best friend. What's his best friend's name?
Baby-O.
Baby-O.
His cellmate, basically, or his.
Huh. That's weird. I could have sworn the IMDb I got for that was someone else.
It might have been.
Weird. All right. So his friend Baby-O is his friend who works at the library in jail. Oh, by the way, when he's in jail, we did see that he was learning everything possible from like Spanish to origami.
Yeah.
And eventually,
but not how to take care of animals.
Yeah. Eventually, Baby-O becomes his roommate. And like they made friends because they used to share those little pink, what are they called? Snowballs?
Those
snowballs.
Marshmallow and coconut monstrosities.
I used to share those with my grandfather, so I love them. But, which is weird because he has diabetes. Now, on the plane before they get in, like, Poe is talking to the cop, and the cop takes his kid's picture away, and he's like, I'm gonna get that back. And the cop is like, the prison warden, or guard?
The air marshal in charge of the plane.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
okay, the air marshals is being a dick about the picture, and he's like, I'm going to get that picture back, and the air marshal's like, is that a threat? And he's like, I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
I'm going to tell you because I've read the script.
And Baby-O is diabetic, and he needs his insulin, and on the bus he was like, hey, I need my insulin, and they're like, we got it on the plane. We'll do it in flight, which is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when they get on the plane, and they start flying, Baby-O is looking for his, he's like, hey, can I get my insulin now? And while that's happening, Dave Chappelle, which we don't have in the cast list. Yeah, I know, right? He's just a racist black guy that dies early after making fun
he
of...
die. He just gets left behind, which is, I assume he gets picked up again.
Yeah, I don't remember. He's a main character. You really should have had him in there, but he's in a bunch of shit.
It was long enough.
Right? He insults some poor Native American guy that dies really quick and doesn't have any lines, but... What he's doing is he coughs up this fluid in a lighter and a matchstick, not a lighter. Meanwhile, who is it that is getting a pin out?
Both Cyrus the Virus and Diamond Guy.
Yeah, they have
pins that they have stored in
their arms instead of their mouth.
Right.
That they'll use to pick the locks. And so Dave use it, he's got this vial of, lighter fluid that he squeezes on that poor Native American man. He's insulted culturally. And then he's like,
lights him on fire.
If you survive this, I'm sorry. And yeah, lights him on fire. And there's a kerfuffle that ends up crushing Baby-O's insulin vials.
Yep.
Which sucks balls.
Well, there's one surviving vial, but all the needles are busted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the side quest in the film becomes finding
the needles. And then there's actually what kind of agent is it?
Air Marshal.
Is that an Air Marshal agent? I thought it was like a...
U.S. Marshal. Everybody on that plane was a U.S. Marshal.
Well, except for that undercover guy.
Except the undercover guy was DEA.
Colin Meaney's a DEA agent, and one of his agents has got on the plane, and he wasn't supposed to have a gun.
Yeah.
But he did... Colin put a fucking gun in his ankle holster, and he sees all this, everybody flipping out, and the convicts, getting control of the plane. Cyrus has gone up to the... By the way, Cyrus has gone up to the cockpit, and the pilot is coming out. This is before September 11th, before us being fuck you, no open cockpits. Now your child, because of some fucking assholes, can't go up into a cockpit and pretend to fly a plane. No. That seems crazy that they would even open the cockpit. Mm-hmm. There's only guns in the cockpit with the pilot, which means that they should stay in the fucking cockpit, or underneath the plane for some reason. I don't know why they need guns down below, but
which they said they have them down below.
Mm-hmm.
So
seems weird.
All in all, the bad guys get control of the plane, and they're like, all right.
Yeah, and the agent flips out and ends up getting shot. Basically, yeah. He ends up dying. And the lady cop.
Danny Trejo's character threatens to rape the lady marshal.
Who
and
is definitely a main character and should have been in the cast list.
Yes. Cast list was already too long. Cameron's like, you don't do that. And Cyrus, who is... I see no reason why Cyrus would say this. Is like, no, he's right, you don't do that.
Well, Cyrus, I had said earlier, I think rapists are disgusting.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
vile. They're the lowest of the low, but I'm going to make an exception for you.
Right. For Danny Trejo's character, he says, no, people like you, rapists like you, are somewhere between a cockroach and the white stuff that forms at the corner of your mouth when you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a great fucking bit of writing.
Yeah.
There was some good writing in this. I'll give it that. Yeah.
100%. Like, it's catchy. It's engaging. I will never complain about, like, this movie. Yeah. I really won't.
The hurdle that they have to do is they have to pull off a
caper,
a prisoner transfer thing, without being discovered, so that they can maintain control of the plane. So they do that. They have they get one of the prisoners on board, Swamp Thing, who seems like a fun guy to be around.
Yeah, they've done a transfer, but now they're pretending to be prison guards.
And this is how
however,
they get Steve Buscemi on.
They've accidentally killed some of the prisoners that were supposed to be transferred that day.
Actually, all three of the prisoners they were supposed to be transferred that day.
Just a few. So instead, what they do is they do the spit gun, like the thing you do when people are like spitting and shit.
Yeah,
they put the sacks on their heads and like cover them up. And Poe,
the guards that are still alive, they do that too. Yeah.
Poe uses the like recorder from the DEA agent and slips it in to give him a note so that like they know where they're going and like what's happening. So he fucks with them. Yeah. Now
they take the transponder from the plane and stick it on another plane.
Yeah, on a puddle jumper.
How Dave Chappelle's character gets left behind.
Yeah. And they, like, really outdo themselves, bring Steve Buscemi on the plane like he's some kind of wild man.
Yeah, like he's a fucking Cylon.
Yeah, right? It's a bit much. He's generally, like, Cyrus the Virus was supposed to be, like, much more dangerous and crazy than him, as well as the African-American Radical.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, crazy smart and super dangerous. But Steve Buscemi and the dude who's just like, I'm gonna slaughter people. I mean, maybe it's fun. It's the joy of killing. The whole time, he's really calm and delightful. Really just the most lovable character in the whole movie.
All right, so they get back in the air, and the plan is to go to some remote, landing base.
Yeah.
And by now...
Because there's a character who I barely remember is there, which is like rando. I think he's like South American dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like, I always forget his name, but we really should have had him on the cast list because he is important to the plot, but he's like not really a part of anything. Like he's basically background noise.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's the one, like, they're supposed to, after their second stop at this bullshit airport and switch planes.
Yeah.
Into a new big cargo plane that can take a bunch of people. But, like, who the fuck knows?
Right. So while they're doing that, by now, John Cusack and
Colin
Meaney's characters are aware that something is going on. So Colin Meaney's character is like really riled up because his guy got killed and he doesn't think the air marshals know what the fuck they're doing and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so
they get helicopters and go chase off after their transponder, which is on a
like fucking Blackhawks.
Yeah, which is on a sightseeing
4 of them coming up on this puddle jumper.
While John Cusack's character is like, no, I just looked at all the stuff they left behind. They're going to this other place. And then once they realize that the tourist plane is full of just old people, they're like, oh, I guess we have to go to the other place. So
and the thing is, though, when they left the second location, Like, they couldn't bring up their landing gear. So Poe gets sent down, and he finds out there's a body obstructing the landing gear. So what he does is he straps a note to it for
John Cusack.
For John Cusack or whoever, and shoves it down, and this guy whose car has been shit on by a bird, and whose wife says, "Oh, that's good luck. Maybe it's a green light." He's crossing at the green, and all of a sudden, body hits his car. Oh, and it was General Hammond from Stargate.
Ah,
yeah. Fucking, I was really jazzed about that. I was like, "Hey, I know you."
So writ large, the story is that like the bad guys are carrying out this plan, and Cameron is doing his best to leave a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
For the Age of Defiance. So they get to the second location, which you never go to a second location with a bunch of psychopaths. And they sort of crash land, but not bad enough that they can't take off, just bad enough that it's going to take them time to dig the plane out.
Yeah. I'm doing some creating definitely some road rage for the little car, the little plane that they
there's
almost overtake. Because there's no one in the tower.
Well, no, there's a dead guy in the tower because
there's no one manning the tower, I should say. And John Cusack has found the dead body in the tower.
Right. So John Cusack is like skulking around this airport trying to figure out an angle or whatever. Yeah. Runs into Cameron. They have a standoff. And Cameron's like, "There's two men I trust. You're not one of them."
Does he run into Cameron with that other plane?
He runs into Cameron after Cameron runs into all the people that are there to pick up the other guys.
And that's when, so before then, when he was talking to, what was that? What's his name? The military African-American gentleman?
Oh, the militant African-American gentleman? Diamond?
Yeah, militant. I always forget his real name. Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about to kill all the cops.
Right. And it's like, but we're stuck here. We might be hostage.
And Poe points out that they don't have the new plane yet, so they need to have their hand on that. And Cyrus agrees with him. So, but the thing he pointed out is, like, this dude's already late. They were supposed to be there waiting with a fucking plane big enough to carry, at least 12, 13 people. And who knows? So if the cops come up, they need some fucking leverage, yeah. And when they do, like, when he does meet John Cusack, it's in the hangar with a jet that can only hold maybe 4 or 5 people. Yeah.
Severely
6, 7.
But they have to take out
8 if you sit on Joe's lap.
Most of the guys involved with that. And Cameron's like, "Look, I'm gonna save the day because I'm the fucking protagonist." And John Cusack's character is like,
"Yeah,
all right, I'll do what I can."
And he actually found him in the med tent when he was looking for a
needle
for a needle.
He found a needle.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He found a bunch of onions
in a first aid kit.
That was onions and chicken bones in a first aid kit. Yes, seems fun.
So. Meanwhile, the Blackhawks are catching up, and so is like the backup. So, for some reason, they allow themselves to be funneled into this really tight, narrow channel, which allows the bad guys to just tear their asses apart.
Yeah.
Right as Cameron finds the needle and books it.
Yeah, and they've been digging out the plane since the new plane wasn't there.
Yeah.
And they found out now that it's all gone to fuck. So they're going to take that plane and go.
Yep.
And one thing you'd seen earlier was Cameron going off with this big ass fucking rope.
Yeah, and he basically
hooked it up to Colin Meaney's car.
Yeah. Well, no, he hooked it up to a post.
Yeah.
It broke free and then hooked the car. But he stole Colin Meaney's car to get down to the airfield.
Well, he didn't. John Cusack stole Colin Meaney's car.
Yeah. John Cusack stole...
Not Poe.
stole Colin Meaney's car and brought it there. Anyway, A bunch of people die.
Yeah.
They get the plane off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
With
trailing
Cameron on it with the insulin.
Trailing the Porsche.
Yep.
Which has the shitty vanity license plate, which says what? Kicking ass?
Yeah, something like that.
Ass kicking. Ass kicker. And he's like, that looks like my car. And John's like, it couldn't be your car. You.
And then
the guy's like, you left that back. Yeah, and then he sees the license plate as it, like, I don't know, slowly sizzles in the air.
Yeah. So they get back in the Blackhawks and they start chasing after the plane. And John Cusack's character is like, don't shoot them down. My guy on board has this in hand. And they're like,
and Colin's like, fuck him. And the people are like, we can totally, there's no one else around. We can kill everyone here. There's only,
this is the best time to do it.
There's literally only, was the lady still on the plane?
The lady criminal and the guard, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, they should be saving. There's no lady criminals. Well, I mean, there's one.
Yeah.
She's transgendered. But.
Oh, I just thought she was a lady.
Well, I mean, she may be a lady, but she was in men's prison. So. Yeah, there were no people born as ladies.
She's a lady.
But what I was. No, I understand that. Still a dick.
Yes.
Not that they have one, but like generally they were an asshole person because they were like, yes, I'll murder people.
So,
but yeah, no, they're still living police. There's still living agents on the plane.
And eventually, Colomini's like, okay, fine, we'll let your guy try and handle it.
The DEA has choppers and was willing to murder federal marshals.
Yes. So, but
I'm fairly certain that's not legal.
In great shape. And
no, especially since it had a bunch of drag from a fucking car busting it up.
So Cameron, or whatever his fucking name is, I forgot his name by now.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron gets into the cockpit with Swamp Thing. He's like, we need to put this plane down. And Swamp Thing's like, who says? And I said, I fucking said, dude, there's chopper. It's the end of the movie, and I'm the main character, and I'm telling you to take the plane down.
Which is weird that he was just like, and Swamp Thing was like, cool.
Cool. Well, I mean, Swamp Thing was
they
also
had
like,
limited gas.
We're also out of fuel.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Hot Shots. Like, we're out of fuel, lost one wing, there goes the other one. Like,
yeah.
So they're like, John Cusack's like rating in, like, you guys can land at LAX.
And for some reason,
they're like, we can't make it to LAX, we're hitting the Vegas Strip.
Which is fucking silly, because if you've ever seen like an overview of the Vegas Strip, there's plenty of places around the Vegas Strip, like within like blocks, where you could easily like be like, you know what, there's a lot less traffic there and a lot less dangerous, because it's all fucking warehouses and shit.
But I contend this. All of that would make for a less entertaining movie.
It would be far less glitzy.
Like watching that plane take out the Hard Rock Cafe was
well, the guitar on the Hard Rock Cafe, they did a little thing.
So it comes to it skids, does a lot of damage, comes to rest
inside the
Bellagio or something.
Inside, in their main foyer.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. The entryway.
So it gets swamped by agents, and most of the bad guys get arrested, except for Swamp Thing and the virus.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing and the virus steal a fire truck.
No. Steve Buscemi's also gone too.
Oh, yes.
And we had actually forgotten on the second trip when everybody was fighting, he was off.
He was having a tea party
with a little girl who lived by fucking fucked up airport, which is strange. And like,
which the entire time you're like, he's gonna murder the fuck that little girl.
He's gonna murder this little girl. And then like they kind of like cut to it where like they sing he's got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah.
And then they show like a broken fucking teacup from their tea party. But then as they're taking off,
see the plane with Steve Buscemi on it, you see her like dancing around.
Bye, Steve! Thanks for not murdering my family!
Yeah.
I love God! God loves me!
Which that's not the first time that shit'll fucking come up in this.
I mean, it is what it is.
Because there's fucking Baby-O.
Yeah.
Right? At some point.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta rewind a little bit. Baby-O's got his insulin, so he's feeling all fucking full of piss and vinegar. And when Cyrus is like, somebody ratted us out. Who the fuck was it?
Yep. And Baby-O was like, it was me.
Baby-O was like, don't listen to him. It was me. And he's like, you were fucking on death's door for like the entire movie. And he's like, no, it was me. So he's like, fine, it was you, and shoots him.
We completely forgot. And like, he has the bunny from the thing. He's like, my daddy was, which is crazy because Steve Buscemi would be able to tell from the my daddy gets out on July 14th. My birthday is July 14th. It is July 14th. And Poe has told Steve Buscemi that his daughter's birthday is July 14th. So he could easily be like, that fucking guy. But he doesn't. Steve Buscemi doesn't say
like,
shit.
Not my circus.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I'm just going for the ride.
Because he's got the whole world in his hands. And Cyrus is like, tell me who it is or the bunny gets it.
Right. But before that, like right before Cameron does all the things to get control of the plane and bring it down, right? He's got Baby-O in his arms, and Baby-O's like, I don't even know if I believe in God anymore. And Cameron's like, I'll show you that God's real.
I'll show you.
By doing a bunch of heroics that in no way, shape, or form involve a deity.
Yeah, I'll show you there is a God.
Like, fuck you.
I'm going to save your life with the miracle of my badassery.
By the miracle of script writing and special effects. So, back to where we were in the movie.
I love that even in a movie, like, for it to be like a godly act, it still takes an excess of human agency and literally no miracle.
Yep. So, Swamp Thing and Cyrus steal a fire engine. And John Cusack and Cameron steal police motorcycles.
Yeah.
And are chasing them down. And
reasonable.
Cameron and John Cusack's character has no problem with Cameron doing this as a vigilante, just trying to stop the bad guys. Like, it's...
Yes, as a vigilante.
He's a vigilante. Like, it's illegal for Cameron to be doing what he's doing. He is earning a prison sentence doing this. Never will be acknowledged by the movie.
No.
But he ends up handcuffing Cyrus to the ladder on the fire truck and then raising it so he goes through like a mezzanine thing, and then ends up underneath a hydraulic digging machine and gets his head crushed in.
Yeah.
There goes Cyrus. Which John Cusack, for his part, he flooded the cab of the fire engine with a fire hose, which is pretty cool.
That was a little bit of a cheap death. Like, I mean, then no one got in like a brawl out fist fight. It was just kind of like, I guess we got to get him here so we can murder him. And my buddy, fucking what's his Poe's real name?
Nick Cage?
Yeah. Nick Cage got to ride a motorcycle. That's really what's important here. So, he got to ride probably a cop motorcycle. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he was fucking jizzing his pants.
So
and got to be in Vegas.
The bad guys are either dead or apprehended. The good guys survive and aren't being charged with crimes. So they bring Cameron's wife and daughter out to this catastrophe of a crime scene.
His slack-jawed, possibly brain-dead child. Like, because in this movie in general, like, they're talking about him being on the plane with murderers and shit in front of this child and her mom. Like, she's just there with her mom, and this kid's just like, tra-la-la-la, I'ma color this, and I'ma color this. My daddy's coming home, right? Heh, heh, heh. Like, this kid is so weird.
and so everybody fucking lives happily. Like,
yeah.
I'm done talking about this.
No, I love it. I love it. Oh, and Steve Buscemi wanders off into the sunset because he gets away.
Yep, and maybe not still kills people.
Well, and maybe he does, but not children, maybe. Because maybe he just lets life happen.
Anywho, so, I'll ask you first. Does this still work?
Of course it does. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, me neither. Like,
it's... No, it wasn't homophobic. It was definitely against rape, which is not really a problem with, it's not really, it's something that happens today. Like, there was nothing really like, it is the movie of its time in that it was in 1999 and things were accurate for 1999. Not accurate to like, whatever.
Yeah.
And not accurate to like
reality at all.
But it was like a contemporary movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't like, there wasn't really much. Like, people that were dicks to people got theirs, which was nice. But even then, it was just like a character choice. No one was acting weird. It wasn't just a guy with, like, I don't know, a sad character. It was good. It was good.
It's a good action romp that you can just watch without...
Still watch it anytime it comes on the television.
Yep.
Which now I just stream shit, so I can't do that. Like, I guess if I walk by it in a JCPenney in the TV section, I'll have to sit down in front of it and just be like, no, we're watching fucking Connor. You put the bunny in the box. Like,
all right. So, Kitt, thank you for sitting in for Joe.
Yep, thank me as well. Yes. George, what is up next?
Next week, Joe will be in Mexico still, and Kitt won't even be around.
Yeah.
So I'm flying solo for my first ever viewing of Willow from 1988.
Yep. I guess that's it for this episode. I'm Kitt Nowokunski. Thanks for listening.
And I'm George Romaka. Thanks for listening indeed, because if a podcast drops and there's no one around to hear it, it's just another collection of ones and zeros. It doesn't matter.
You've been listening to Does This Still Work? Produced by Joe Dixon and George Romaka.
This content is CAN credentialed, which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm on their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org.
The hosts can be reached via social media, email, or the contact page at dtswpod.com. Be good to yourself and others, because that still works.
Bum, 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 bum.
Why is underwater basket weaving a term for a joke degree? To me, that sounds pretty hardcore. So from stupid questions, why do 1 out of 10 dentists not recommend a toothbrush or toothpaste? What do they know that the other 9 don't? What was the longest time you went without eating? From no stupid questions, do women ever notice when guys get a boner around? Does stomach grumbling mean hunger or not always? Alright, and finally, from random questions. What is your longest standing friendship to this day?